In part 1, I went over the beginning of crunch time, including Nick Nurse's strange decision to interrupt his team's 12-2 run by taking 2 consecutive timeouts. The Warriors responded with a clutch Klay Thompson three-pointer to cut the lead in half. And that brings us to the last 90 seconds, in which we saw more bad clock management by the Raptors, and despite being healthier and having home court advantage, it makes me wonder whether the Raptors gave away their best chance to finish off the Warriors. On this play, it appears they're not all on the same page, as Curry and Draymond need to tell Boogie to clear to the other side. But they want to run Hawk, an oldie but a goodie, as Draymond does a dribble handoff to Iguodala at the same time Curry is coming off a double pin down on the weak side. With a step of freedom, Curry shows his onions by cold burying this triple, and I mean it's a perfect swish. Now the game is tied, and it's not clear what Kawhi saw as he began his attack, but he had been red hot a minute ago, so he tosses up a heat check, and Curry comes up with a tough rebound. This is where the Warriors' experience comes in handy. Curry isn't wasting any time, anxious to catch the defense out of position. I thought what Andre did here was very weird. He cuts towards the basket, but then stops and turns around. He's in Curry's way if he wanted to drive. But look at Steph's gravity here. He's got all 5 defenders in his tractor beam. Now, Lowry is out of position to guard Iguodala, and that forces Kawhi to rotate all the way over to prevent the layup when Curry tosses it to him. This looms large in a second. Iggy jumps in the air on the catch and fires it to the wide open Draymond. We know he isn't going to shoot this. He fires a perfect strike to Klay, who is open because Kawhi had to rotate over to cover for Lowry's poor position. Kawhi does recover just in time to bite on the shot fake. Now, Kawhi did not make a mistake to leave his feet to contest. It's always preferable to force a shooter to interrupt his rhythm and dribble and move. The mistake was not rotating in the air and landing in a sprinter stance to bounce right back into the play and distract Klay from the side. Danny Green also froze when he could have gotten there a step earlier, and Klay has just shocked the entire arena. The Raptors run an interesting play that ignores Kawhi, circling Gasol around the lane to set a ball screen for Lowry. For all of Boogie's issues defensively in this game, and there were tons, he comes up big to get back over to the driving Gasol. But this, sports fans, is what we call a weak take. Gasol tries an off-foot layup, avoids the contact, and gets it blocked by the completely earthbound Cousins. However, Gasol quickly makes up for it by getting back in position to defend quickly. Then, he surprises Curry by doubling him in the backcourt. Curry has to pick up his dribble, Draymond must come back to the ball, but check Draymond's awful footwork. He crosses his legs, loses his balance, and is forced to step backcourt and turn the ball over. Look at it again. He plants the left foot and should have just faced up to the basket and ripped through with the ball. Instead, he turns over his left shoulder, his legs are now crossed, he's standing with all his weight on the left edge of his left foot, and of course he needs to put that right foot down. Now can you hear me shaking my head? This was a perfect 2-for-1 situation down by 3, but they need to do it quick. Lowry blows right by Boogie, gets the ball to the glass first, and counted on the goaltend. The Raptors are in good position. The Warriors now run that same Hawk action that got Curry his clutch 3. Only this time, the timing is way off. The handoff occurs, but Curry isn't ready to come off the pin down from Boogie. Now, Iggy has to pound the ball and wait. Boogie gets impatient and decides to just lower his shoulder into Van Vliet. Easy call, even though it was absolutely shocking they decided to call it at this moment of the game, and the Raptors' title chances are within their reach. Here's where some serious coaching blunders happen, however. The Raptors weren't benefiting from catching the Warriors' defense off guard by pushing it, so they should have called a timeout to get set. It's a no-brainer. Next, they're losing. Let this be a lesson to coaches at all levels. When you're down, you need to get the best shot you can as quickly as you can. If you miss, there's still time to foul, and then maybe the Warriors miss a free throw and you can get something. But instead, they wind the entire clock down for a last shot. And to make matters worse, it's a straight hero ball ISO for Kawhi out top. They know the Warriors are going to run a double team at him. They've been doing it all series. They clearly wanted to create a corner 3 for Lowry with Gasol screening his man, but Draymond is next level, never letting Gasol pin him on the low side, enabling Green to fly out there and contest and actually block this shot. Game over. In the end, the Warriors outscored the Raptors by 36 points from behind the three-point arc. This should have been a blowout, and yet the Raptors had a shot to win in the final possession. This does not bode well for Golden State. And considering they won't have Durant or Looney, it just feels like they delayed the inevitable for another game. However, if Nick Nurse continues to mismanage timeouts and the clock like this, you absolutely have to give the Warriors a legitimate chance to at least make this into a 7-game series.